Hey guys, I went to see Dune Part 2. Fam! To say that this movie was epic feels like an understatement. I feel like there's epic and then there's Dune. Wow. Like, incredible. Movies like this are the reason why the big screen cinematic experience was created in the first place. Stroesbob. In this installment, Paul Atreides joins forces with Chani and the Fremen people of the desert planet Arrakis to fight against House Harkonnen, the house which is responsible for the destruction of his family. I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time. Like, just the sheer scale of it. I almost felt like I was engulfed by it, and I wasn't even watching it on IMAX, just basic 2D. Guys, I can only compare it to a movie like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, just in terms of scale. You have got to watch this on the big screen. Not doing so would be a travesty and an injustice. The Dune movies are based on sci-fi novels by Frank Herbert. There are 6 books in the series, although in the case of the movies, I think it'll be a trilogy. I haven't read any of the books, but the story as told in the movies is gripping and interesting, albeit a little too long. I mean, the movie is well over 2.5 hours long, and around the 2-hour mark, I was like, hey, yeah, can we just hurry it along a little bit? But otherwise, fantastic. In terms of themes, war is a major theme in this movie, along with water, which I think was really cool because of the contrast with the desert setting. Religious themes were also a big feature in this movie, with their search for a messianic figure and prophecies and the fulfillment thereof, and believers and non-believers. It actually reminded me of The Matrix and their search for the one.
How? He is the one.
Visually, this movie was a marvel. Like, guys, the cinematography. I don't usually do a stank face for cinematography. It's not a thing. But for this one, I just had to. There were these wide, expansive shots, the composition of which was stunning. I was literally in the cinema on some and then some of the close-ups made you feel like you were in the room with the characters. Ugh, elite stuff. And then, guys, can we talk about the production design? In Zulu, we would say, a production design engasukumphansi, guys. Like, there isn't even an adequate translation for how amazing the production design was. The architecture they created for the sets, the machinery, the costumes, the monochromatic color palette, the lighting even. There were shots or images in this movie that looked like paintings on some light dark contrast, and I was just like, what in the chiaroscuro is this, man? Oh, incredible. Never mind the special effects, which were wow, the fight sequences, which were top tier, and the score. Oh, so arresting yet harsh and combative, just capturing the whole atmosphere of the movie. Only to find out who's the composer? Hans Zimmer. Fam, magic was made in this movie. Magic! The budget for this movie must have been ridiculous because the cast is ridiculous. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson, Christopher Walken, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, Austin Butler, Josh Brolin. Sup, Thanos? Ridiculous! I was really impressed by Timothy Chalamet. I mean, this guy went from the delightful, quirky Willy Wonka in Wonka to this tormented warrior with the world on his shoulders. Listen, my dude has range, okay? And then, of course, everyone else was just brilliant. This one is a very, very strong jog. You are almost printing jog to your nearest cinema. It is an epic you do not want to miss. I suggest watching part one, obviously, before watching part two. However, if you go straight to part two, it's not a train smash. You won't be completely lost. It's easy to follow because I hadn't watched part one yet. So please, guys, waste no more time and go and see Dune Part 2.